Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerry and I love all things beauty and makeup related. I am really excited today because I love indie brands and bright colourful makeup, and I get to try a new indie brand to me. I've been wanting to try Wicked Widow Beauty for the longest time, so that's what we're going to do today. Now, it has just recently been my birthday. I know you can't believe I'm another year older, but I have picked up two palettes with some of the birthday money that I got from Wicked Widow Beauty. These are the two palettes. We've got the Tea Time palette and the Scissorhands 2 palette. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a look with each and then a look at the end, combining them both together, because the reason I bought both is because I think they're going to pair beautifully together, and I'm excited to try this formula. I like trying new things, especially when it's indie brands. This indie brand is based in the US, and I think I'm going to start out with the Tea Time palette today. But before we do that, let's get into the close-ups and the swatches.
I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious. Idiots thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet.
Now, both palettes do come with outer sleeves, but they're exactly the same as the actual palettes, so I don't have to keep hold of the sleeves, which makes me very happy. So, like I said, we're going to start with the Tea Time palette. I'm just looking on the website and it says it is $34 US, and it says it has 4 mattes, 2 duochrome / multi-chromes, and 2 shimmers. Now, the reason I picked up more than one palette is because although I absolutely love this colour story, there isn't really a lot of depth in here. So going forward, after I've done my first impressions of each palette, I will be combining them together because, like I say, I think they will pair beautifully together. I like depth and light shades. But for this first look, I'm just going to be using this palette alone. I am going to be actually priming with a different eye base today. Who am I? I'm going to be using the Give Me Glow eyeshadow primer, but if you're wondering anything else that I'm wearing in this video, it will be linked in the description box below. Don't worry, I have used this eye base before, so I do know how shadows apply on it, because when I'm trying a new eyeshadow formula, I do like to use an eye base that I've tested before and that's not brand new, just so I know if there's any issues where the fault will be lying. So looking at this colour story, I think it's absolutely delicious. It's obviously based on the Alice in Wonderland theme, the fact it's called Tea Time, and that we have what we have on the front. I do really like the artwork and the packaging, and it does have a nice mirror inside. And I'm thinking, what am I thinking? The shimmers in here aren't the lightest, so I'm thinking I'm definitely going to have to use the shade Drink Me, which is the nice white shimmer toward the inner corner, just to add some brightness. I think the darkest matte is probably this one, which is Imposter, so I'm thinking that's probably what I'm going to be using in my outer corner. And it does say on this palette vegan and cruelty free, just in case you was interested, and a 24-month shelf life. So I'm going to go in with that Imposter shade. It is this one here in the outer corner. And I'm just going to start to pack this on. Oh, that is a beautiful tone. I do love a tealy turquoisey shade. There is a little bit of fallout in the pan, but that's okay as long as I get the pigment on my eye. Ooh, okay, that is pigmented. We're going to see how this blends out, but that is intense. If there's anything I like, it's intensity and drama. That is blending out with itself really nicely. I will go back in and re-intensify it, but I just wanted to blend on the edges and see how it's going, and so far it's making me very happy. That is looking super nice. Then I want to go in with the shade Dreamer. Look at this gorgeous bright green. I'm connecting that. As you can probably tell from my top, I love a bright green. Just going to connect that up, all those shades next to each other. delicious. Not having any issues. It's going on pigmented. This shade doesn't have as much kick up as the previous shade. And it is going on beautifully pigmented and looking vibrant. I'm thinking of bringing it a little bit down here just because I might go in with a cut crease today. I know I don't often do them anymore, but I just fancied it for today. Just blending on the edge a little bit, but you can see why I wanted to pick up this palette, like these colour stories. But then on the lower lash line, I'm thinking I want to go into Nonsense, which is this one here. It's like a purpley pink. Some people will argue it's purple, some people will argue it's pink, so I'm just saying it's purpley pink. And I just want to incorporate this onto the lower lash line because I think it is such a beautiful shade. And I think it goes nicely with the shades I've already used. Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted. And I also do need to cover up my under eyes today. I used a concealer that I'm not fond of, but I need to keep using it so that I can review. And I think I've used it enough times now to say I really don't like it. So my under eyes aren't looking the best today, so we're just not gonna look at them too closely. Okay, let me jump off and cut my crease. I'm going to be using the Acid Rain Blank Canvas by P. Louise and Mitchell. Okay, now it's the exciting part. It's time to go in with the shimmers, and the two duo creme / multi cremes look to be Who Are You and The Key. But I think I definitely want to use Drink Me in the inner corner. Oh my goodness. That was The Key. That one is Drink Me. I think both would work beautifully, but I think I'm going to go with this one, which is called The Key. I'm going to start out with Drink Me. And do I want to spray this? Maybe. Trying to avoid fallout, and definitely want something light and bright for the inner corner. I think this is going to be, oh yes, perfect. Okay, that is intense. I need to blend it out just a little bit into the lower lash line, but that is intense and reflective. Wow. Then I'm going to flip my brush over and go into The Key. That was the one I wanted, wasn't it? Oh, that's picking up quite nicely on this Refa brush. Okay. And oh my goodness. Just look at that. That is so reflective, metallic-y and wet looking. Oh. It's definitely quite a deep shade. It looks like it's got a black base. I'm loving this and how it's come together. Let me jump off, finish up this look, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So guys, this is a finished look, and yes, I did go a little bit crazy with gems, and sometimes that happens. Like, surely it happens to all of you as well. Like, look, when I got the gems out, I then just couldn't stop. So I have kind of a gem wing going on, 2 little gems near the front, and I did line my cut crease with some water activated liner, one of my favourite palettes to use. This was very kindly gifted in PR, but I use it all the flipping time. I use this light purple shade, it will be linked down below, it's from Artitude Cosmetics, just to line that cut crease and add a little bit more definition and interest. Overall, I love how this look has come together. I think this little palette is beautiful. I didn't have any problems with the shimmers or the mattes that I have tried so far. When I use this again and combine it with the other palette, I will try to remember to use different shades than what I used in this look. But yeah, the only thing that this is missing for me is some depth, and maybe a super light matte inner corner, but I'm not going to complain because it is a smaller colour story. It's very well curated in the colours that match together, and I think it looks aesthetically pleasing, and not every palette is going to be to my exact preference, and that's fine. But I love this little palette so far. How many shades did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used 5 of the shades. That's not doing too bad. I still need to use this yellow matte as well, but I'm really pleased with how this came together. I think it's pretty. Let's jump in to look number 2. Okay, for look number 2 with the Scissorhands 2 palette, I'm so excited to dive into this one today. This one looks stunning. The mirror inside is beautiful and I love the background for the palette with all the little snowflakes, and it looks a little bit like a snowy scene, and even the artwork on the front. I'm loving this one. This colour story feels so unique to me. Like, there's probably other colour stories out there that do a similar thing, because at this point in time, in makeup time, what can you do that's different? But to me, there's not a lot like this in my collection. I like the variety of tones included in this. It just, looking at it, it makes me very happy. And I think today, because I did a bluey, purpley, greeny look yesterday, as much as I want to play with those tones, I think I'm going to play with Scars, which is more of a maroony, reddy brown. Maybe that could be cute, and maybe I'll combine that with some of the purples. I think that is the plan. So I'm going to start with Scars, which was that deep maroony shade. And this palette, you will have seen, is a lot more about the depth than the previous palette, which is why, like I said before, I want to use them both together, because I think they will complement each other beautifully. Okay, that is pigmented and delicious. And again, just wiggling on the edges. This looks like it wants to blend itself out beautifully, and I love when a deep shade like this, you can build it up and pack it on in the outer corner to create that intensity and depth, but then on the very edges, it will just blend itself out. Okay, so far I'm really enjoying the matte formula from Wicked Widow. Then I want to go into the purples, and I think the purple I want to go into is Mansion, and then we'll go into the lighter purple, which is called Peg. So going into Mansion first, just to sort of define the crease leading to the inner corner a little bit. Oh, the depth of these shades is making me very happy. I love the shade names, I love the theming of these palettes. I think it's fantastic. And I do love both films that these palettes are based on. Like, I do love Edward Scissorhands. I think it's a fantastic film. It does make me a little bit sad though. It's like, it's one of those that's a little bit weird, a little bit different, and that's why I like it, but I don't half feel sorry for him. So I've just built that up in the crease, and then I'm just tickling on the edges before I go in with that lighter purple. It's been a real joy actually playing with these shades and these colour stories, and I've really been enjoying the formula so far. You'll have to let me know in the comments, have you tried Wicked Widow before? What do you think to the formula? So going in with Peg, I'm going to put it a little bit on the inner corner, and I'm not going to worry that it's a bit deep because I'm going to go over it with a shimmer. And we'll just use that Peg shade just to blend out that purple a little bit. And I have just taken those shades on the lower lash line as well, and now I'm thinking, what shimmers do I want to use, because they all look beautiful. I haven't actually swatched this palette as I'm filming this right now, but you'll have already seen the swatches. So I'm going to swatch Imperfect and Ice Dance, because they're the more purpley toned. I think we're going to be using these. In fact, while I've got Ice Dance, the deeper one on my finger, I will just use, holy moly, holy, oh wow, that is insane. I'm going to take Imperfect as well and just pop that toward the inner corner. This isn't wanting to pick up on my Refa brush. It's a little bit putty-like, which is probably why the other one went on so well with my finger. But we're going to see. Oh, it's picked some up, and wow. Also, that is insanely beautiful. This one looks more to be a toppery shade with more of a transparent base, but as you can see, it's sort of reflecting blue. It was definitely sort of a lavendery purple on my finger, but that is stunning. I didn't even tell you, but the Scissorhands 2 palette retails for $52 US, and it has 8 mattes and 8 duochromes / multichromes. Well, yeah. Okay, this is creating the most beautiful smoky eye. That might be my favourite topper shade in my collection, the Imperfect shade from this palette. I can't I can't get over how much I love that. There's reflective and there's sparkly, but this is intense to the extreme. I need to pick up the other Scissorhands palette, the first one, and maybe a few more things. Let me just sort out the rest of this blending. I'm just tapping over the edge of the shimmer, but this is more or less going to be the look. I just need to do my lashes, pop something in my waterline and do a lip, but I love this. I tell a lie, I want to put the white in my inner corner that's called the Bogs, which is here. It does also though look to possibly have a pink reflect to it. I haven't swatched it. Don't know if this is going to be a mistake, but we'll see. I just want to pop that on the very... Oh, okay, that's looking quite lavendery purple. Probably because of what it's on top of as well, but oh, that has just taken things up another, oh my goodness. I need to go and finish up this look. Wow. I am utterly obsessed with this look, and I don't say that lightly. I cannot believe the shimmers. From using the previous palette, I did think the mattes were fantastic. The shimmers were pretty as well, but the shimmers that I've used today from this palette, especially that slightly lighter one that now looks like a crazy, gorgeous iridescent blue, this imperfect shade that's a purpley blue, ridiculously intense and beautiful, and just popping a little bit of the Bogs on top on the very inner corner just to intensify that a little bit. And even the purple eye stance, absolutely stunning. Absolutely. I am actually lost for words with this look because, like I said, I did think I was gonna like it, judging from the first palette that I used yesterday, but I didn't think I was gonna like it this much. This is beautiful, and if the shades in here, the rest of them perform like this, I am so excited to use the greens and the teals and even this murky, lovely green matte here and the blues. I am so excited. It does look like there are different shimmer formulas in this palette. So the one that I used looks more of an iridescent-y topper shade, that super special one. The rest of them look a little bit more opaque apart from the inner corner shade I used. So some of the others, yeah, there's definitely different formulas in here, which I like variety in shimmers, in palettes. So that makes me very happy. I'm so excited, but I don't think anything's going to beat this imperfect shade because, like, have you seen this? I am very excited to be using maybe some of the greens that I'm excited for the next look, let's put it like that. But this one, I have lipstick on my teeth. This one is absolutely beautiful. It's giving me plummy but blue. I was thinking a purple and red look, but no, I'm a plummy blue and I absolutely love it. I paired the lip, which was the Unearthly Cosmetics lip in Flirt. I think this was from the mystery box. I'm not sure if you can actually buy this on the site. If you can, I'll link it down below. Don't forget, anything that I'm wearing in today's video or the other looks in this video, I will have it linked down below in the description box. But I need to shut up about this look and move into look number 3, otherwise this is going to be an extremely long video. But so far, this is my favourite look. We're going to see if I can top this with combining both of the palettes together, which is the reason that I bought them. So I'm so excited for tomorrow to be filming with these again and creating another look. But for you, it's right now. So guys, we are finally into the last look and I'm excited to pair these palettes together. Looking at the colour stories, I was going to do blue and yellow, but I'm thinking I haven't actually used any of the greens really, apart from the bright green in this one first. I might use blue, green and yellow. I'm not 100% sure what we're doing yet. Let me prime my eyes and then we can begin. Okay, I think I'm going to start in the Scissorhands 2 palette and I think I want to use the blue. I'm going to go for it and I'm going to use Bells, which is this one here. And looking at it now, it looks like a matte with sparkle in it. Not lots of sparkle like the Colourpop ones, but just a tiny bit. And I'm going to put this in the outer corner first. Oh, that is a nice blue. Then I'm going to go into the shade Garden, which is this green down here. And I'm just going to press this on the edges of the blue to begin with. I should really sit down and plan the looks that I'm going to do for these videos, and generally I just like to play with colour, so I just go with whatever I feel at the time usually. Go back in with a little bit more of that blue. Then I think from the smaller palette we're going to go into a little bit of Dreamer, and then we're going to finish it off with Adventure. So going into Dreamer first, which is the bright green, and again just being really gentle and tickling on the very edges of this. And maybe taking that Dreamer shade as well, just more into the crease. It's starting to feel like a peacock. And I'm not mad at it because I love those tones. And then finally into the yellow called Adventure, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. Wow, that is a nice tone. And I am going to use this Adventure shade just to tickle on the edges of that green. So this is kind of how we're looking right now. I need to go back in and re-intensify and blend all the different shades, but this is kind of placement wise what I'm thinking. Okay, I'm kind of happy with how that is looking. Let's go in with a shimmer, but which shimmer? We have a lot of options because this palette is 50-50 with mattes and shimmers. So I'm thinking I might go, oh, that's a greeny, is that a greeny blue? Who Are You from, from the Tea Time palette would go beautifully. I'm also thinking about Neighbourhood from the Scissorhands too. Oh wow. Okay, I'm spoiled for choice here. There's also Mysterious. All of these options would literally be perfection. Then there's also Secret Visitor. Okay, I think we're going to end with Secret Visitor in the outer corner toward that blue matte. And I'm thinking maybe Neighbourhood. So starting out with Neighbourhood, it has picked up really nicely on my brush, but I am going to spray it so I don't get any fallout. And I'm just going to apply this to almost the front part of the lid. I don't want to go too far in. I want to keep something maybe a little bit lighter near there. Again, absolutely intense, stunning shimmer. This one is a lot more opaque than the topper shade I used yesterday. And it looks very reflective and foily, and I'm so in love with every shimmer I've used so far from these palettes. Then I'm going to flip my brush over, and what did we say? Was it Secret Visitor? I feel like it was Secret Visitor. Again, that one's picked up beautifully. And obviously this one's a little bit more blue leaning, so it'll just lead into that blue matte really nicely and merge into that green shimmer. Oh, that is insanely beautiful. You could easily do a beautiful monochromatic look with the blue mattes that are in this palette, the light blue and the blue that I used today, and this blue shimmer. Like, you can kind of create a look going across each row. Not so much this one, but the other three, I feel like they could be beautiful looks as well. I just feel like it's quite a versatile palette with the shades it's included, and so much goes together so well. So I could go in with Drink Me. I don't think that's going to be the one. And then again, there's the Bogs, which again, I don't feel like that's quite right. And then I'm looking at Imperfect because that was my favourite. And I'm like, ooh, maybe we could just put a little bit of this on the inner corner. This Imperfect shade is absolutely stunning, but it is a little bit more difficult to pick up on a brush. And I just, because it's a toppery shade, you'll still sort of see the yellow underneath. But again, it's adding a little bit of a sparkle. So I think this is perfect. Okay guys, I think that's going to be it for the eyeshadow. Let me jump off and finish this look and then we can discuss all 3 looks and both palettes. So guys, that is it. The full 3 looks with the 2 new Wicked Widow Beauty palettes that I picked up, the Edward Scissorhands 2 and the Tea Time palette. Please do let me know which palette is your favourite and which look is your favourite. And maybe even which shade is your favourite, because I just still can't get over, hold on, that Imperfect shade is the most beautiful toppery, duochromey, multi-chromey shimmer that I have seen. I have still yet to swatch all of this palette so that I can put those swatches in this video, and I am so excited to do those swatches. Like, you have no idea, especially the shades that I haven't touched yet, just so I can see what they are like a little bit more to the colours and the shifts in the shimmers especially. But I'm really happy with how this looks come out today. I definitely do feel a little bit peacocky, and I am living for that because I love these tones together. And I'm so pleased that I did include more green in this look than the previous 2. I love trying a new brand for the first time, and like I said, when it's an indie brand, that makes it all the better. And these colour stories in these palettes are so up my street, so I was so happy when I could finally get my hands on them. And I have to say, I am not disappointed. I am actually pleasantly surprised. I did think they were going to be good just from what I'd heard in the beauty community about Wicked Widow Beauty, but actually using them and playing with them, it has exceeded my expectations dramatically, and I want to buy more from the brand, absolutely. So this colour story is my favourite, I think. It is just absolutely delicious, the tones that are included. I think the mattes are definitely pigmented, definitely blendable. I can't really say on the buildability so much because I do like to usually start out with my deepest shade and work my way up to my lightest, but I will definitely play around with that. And upcoming, I will have a speed review or ranking of these palettes on my channel, so do subscribe if you want to see my final thoughts when I've used these a little bit more. I know I've used them a fair few times now, but I still want to use them a little bit more, use some more of the shades and get a good feel for this formula. So I definitely want to test out if they are buildable as well, so I will come back and let you know that. But this formula, guys, like, it was difficult to pick up Imperfect on a brush, but is it worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. And if you want to put it all over the lid and you can just use your finger, that will make it a lot more easier. A lot of the other shimmers, because they're all different formulas, I feel like they're a lot more easy to pick up on a brush. Just pigmented and beautiful, and this colour story, delicious, theming, amazing. And again, the Tea Time palette, it's a cute little palette. It definitely does scream sort of Alice in Wonderland, tea time, party time for me. I feel like this is more Alice in Wonderland than the new Colourpop palette release. And again, if I'm being picky and I can only say one thing, it's the fact that this one, all the matte shades are the same sort of tone, and there isn't anything to sort of deepen it up with, or a super duper light matte. And the same for this one, although there is more variety because you've got the light blue and the more mid-tone blue, there isn't a really, I mean, I could build this up to be an extremely deep matte, but I don't know. Just for my personal preference, I look at a palette and think, does it have depth? Does it have light mattes? Does it have mid-tone mattes? Does it have that variety in mattes? But I do think this one does have more variety, and that's why I wanted to buy them together, because I think they are perfect companions together. So although that's just a colour preference type of thing, I absolutely love both of these palettes. And obviously, as you could see from the looks I did, I can definitely do a look with just one or the other without having to combine them. So I hope if you haven't tried the brand before, this has given you a little bit of something to think about, whether you want to pick anything up, what you think about what I've used and how it has performed. And hopefully, if not, if you're not interested in picking anything new up and you want to shop your stash, that I've just given you some inspo for colours and combinations. I 1,000,000% need to keep an eye on this brand and check out more that they are doing and look at the previous palettes that have come out, because I am so impressed, guys. Don't forget to let me know which is your favourite palette, which is your favourite look. I think I'm going to go with look number 2, just because I was so blown away when I put that Imperfect shade on. That was... I don't often get that excited about makeup anymore because it's coming into my collection all the time. Don't get me wrong, I'm still excited every single parcel that I receive and when I've made an order, but that was just the cherry on the cake. It gives me the feeling of when I got the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette and used that for the first time, I was like, wow, and I just kept wanting to reach for it, so I've got a sneaking suspicion that I'll feel like that with these palettes. Thank you so much of you to stick around till the very end. Thank you for that, and I will leave all of my socials linked down below. I can't speak anymore. I'm getting tongue-tied. I need to go and have a coffee. It's actually quite early on a Saturday morning and I'm trying to film this and get it sorted before Eurovision tonight. I'm so excited. I don't care. I love Eurovision. I will have my Patreon group linked down below, as well as my YouTube membership if you're interested in that. And hopefully, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.